Oh hey guys, welcome to today's video tutorial. Today I'm just gonna quickly walk you through how to install this Flutter script from codecanyon.net. So you want to go to your preferred browser, search codecanyon.net. You're gonna see something, an interface like this. You can go ahead and search a specific script you want to get, or just go ahead and use this. So this is a DTQuiz Flutter Online quiz and application, trivia game with words and all of that. So this application works both on Android as well as iOS. Alright, so here are the documentations for the project. You can get in contact with support and all of that. So getting started with how to purchase this, you want to go ahead and first of all add this project to cart. Adding this to cart shows you how many dollars the script is. So this is a $69 script. You want to go ahead and go to checkout. So for the course of this video, we're not going to be going to checkout. The script has already been purchased, and we just want to go ahead and proceed. So the procedure is straightforward. You just want to proceed with adding your required credentials. That way you can just successfully complete the project purchase. So the next thing that we need to do is to get our tools ready. One of them is our IDE, the Flutter SDK itself. That is how we run Flutter. Alright, so you want to go ahead to come here in order to get started with Flutter. We're using Flutter's official documentation guide. This is always straightforward, and I like using it. So what you want to go ahead to do is to go to docs.flutter.dev /install quick, and here we have set up and test drive Flutter. Alright, so we're gonna use the first one says you need to confirm your development platform, which in our case is Windows, just as recommended. Depending on your um, OS, you can select any of this. So we're gonna skip all of this step, and then we're gonna go to install and set up Flutter. And here we have an option to install to download Flutter manually. Alright, so here it is. So there's a tip here says if you've never set up Flutter, if you've never set up or developed an app with Flutter before, you can get started with Flutter here. There are also some dedicated videos that we have around this. However, proceeding with getting your Flutter SDK, you want to choose a development platform, which we already did, Windows, and the next thing Git. So we're gonna skip this step. There are videos out there that will walk you specifically and Git for Windows and how to get it set up. So what you want to go to do is to click on this button. The current version of Flutter SDK is 3.38.7. You want to go ahead and click on this, and automatically your Windows Flutter SDK is gonna get started downloading. So once that is completed, you want to go ahead to unzip that file or that folder into a new folder. So you could go ahead and create or find a folder to store the extracted SDK. Consider creating and using a directory at here. So you have your root folder and you have users. So go ahead to proceed with the extraction of the SDK. You can go ahead to copy this command where you have to replace this with your current SDK zip path, and then to where the destination of your SDK where you want it to be should be. Alright, so that is going to do that trick, and after that you want to go ahead to add Flutter to your path. Adding Flutter to your path, you need to follow the steps where you determine your Flutter SDK installation location, which is the location where you just extracted it, and then you want to go ahead to go um, to press Windows and plus. This is gonna automatically open your environment variables. And here it says you should go to advanced system settings. All of this, just follow the procedure, just the way it is. And then you have your destination path, which is this Flutter bin. This is where you want to copy to your environment variables, and then click on OK 3 times. You're good to go. Alright, so in order to validate this, we want to go ahead to do this to ensure that you've successfully added. Execute your path, copy these two commands and check it. So if they're correct, you're going to return back some values, and then you know that you've configured Flutter SDK successfully. Now we want to go ahead to get our IDE, and in our case, we're going to be using Visual Studio Code. So we just want to go back to um, previously, yeah, where we have installed instead of Flutter Visual Studio Code. So we're just going to click on it, and it's going to redirect us to code.visualstudio.com. This is your documentation site, so you can just read about the updates and everything that you need to know. Next, you want to go to this to click and download, and download is going to just bring up a pop-up options. You can use any of these options if you like. For us, we're going to be using Windows, so we just go ahead and select Windows, and our Flutter SDK Visual Studio is going to get started downloading. And once that is done, you want to go ahead to open your code, which is your purchase script inside your Visual Studio Code. Let's walk through how that is going to be done. Okay, so this is how our application looks like. I'm just going to close that. Showing you a couple of things. You have first of all your popspec.yaml, where all of these dependencies are being stored. You have your lib folder, which contains your main, and we have a couple of things here, which is initialize application. This is Firebase options. We have a couple of things which we're using provider state management here. And this is where we decide to create our provider classes. And the commands that you need to get started with are Flutter clean first. You want to go ahead and clean this project of generic configurations and dependencies that are not compatible. This is going to just automatically clean the entire project and delete a couple of things. Not to worry, when everywhere shows red, it shows that actually Flutter has actually cleaned the code base successfully. Yeah, so once that is completed, you want to go ahead and say Flutter Bucket. This is automatically, sorry about that. So this is automatically gonna fetch all your preferred dependencies. Okay, so I think there's an issue there. I'm just gonna type it all over again. Flutter get ensure that there are no spelling errors or issues with your command, else you're just gonna see some errors that you never expected. So yeah, this is completed right now. And all you need to do is to try to run the application, and try to run this application you want to go ahead to say Flutter run, just as simple as that. This is going to start building the application, and once it's done you're going to see the preview of your application in your screen. So go ahead and connect your emulator before trying this Flutter run. For me, I'm going to be using physical emulator. I have some virtual emulators down here, but I just want to use this one. So once that is done, you're gonna see it, the preview of your application. Thank you very much, guys, and see you in the next video.